Hello, my name is Emmanuel Ezechukwu, and this is my second contact project demo for project CSE341. So in this video, I will demonstrate how my API deployed on Render using Swagger to send requests to all 5 routes here. Okay, showing how my MongoDB database also updates as I do that. So I'm going to switch over to Render, and this is my database on Render. So these ones on null here are while I was running my code. I think I made a little bit of mistake, so I created a lot of contacts using the null here. So but at the long run, I created some other contacts after that, after fixing it, and here are the contacts I fixed. So as you can see, this is my deployed API on Render, and it's accessible online. As you can see here, this is it, getting the users contacts. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my Swagger API documentation, and this is it here. Sorry, this is it here. Yeah. And I'm going to switch over to my route and how we get them. As you can see, it gets the users and gets it by single ID. As you can see, I use this ID here, and yeah, so I'm going to do this on my deployed Render app. So okay, this is for the local host and this is for Render, as you can see here highlighted. So this is my documentation on deployed on Render. So I'm going to test this out one by one and we will check them. So for this is for the get, and if I execute this, it deploys, and yes, it requests on my local host. Alright, so this is okay, and it shows the hello world here. This is the response. So this shows this is working perfectly, just like the CSE render here shows hello world. Alright, so I'm going to move over to the next request, which is the Swagger API documentation, which is just the general overview of the backend of the front end code. So this is it. This is the response here. This is the front end code. So I'm just gonna switch over to the next request, which is the get users. So the get users here is supposed to get all the contacts just like here. So I'm gonna execute this, and as you can see, it gets all the contacts one by one. Okay, as you can see, let's highlight it with this ID here that ends with 903, and I'm gonna switch over here. As you can see, ends with 903. So that works for getting all the users. So I'm gonna switch over to the next request, which is the post users here. So excuse me. So I am going to create a user right here on the Render app. So let's try I'm gonna say John Hart at aaa.com. So red, let's see, July 7th, 1999, and I'm going to try and execute what I just created right now. So excuse me for that. So I'm going to execute this, and as you can see, yeah, it's created. Here's the response. It's created this. I just impute this and have this response immediately. So for the post, this shows that the post send request works. So I'm just going to get so for the next request is getting an ID, a single ID. So I'm going to try it out. So I'm just going to go here and copy this last ID here, and I'm going to impute this ID here, and I'm going to execute it, and as you can see, it returns the total ID. I'm going to try out another one. I'm going to try out another contact. So let me get this. This is another contact with another name, as you can see here. So I'm going to copy this, put it here, execute it, and it returns that particular contact. So this indicates that the get users ID contact send request works. So I'm gonna try out the put requests, and let me try this out. So I'm gonna try another one, creating another contact here. So I'm gonna go with John. I'm gonna go with Mabel. I'm gonna go with Tiffany. No, sorry. So the email is Mabel. Sorry, I'm making a bit of mistake here. The username here is Mabel Tiffany. Right, so I'm gonna create an email, Mabel Tiffany at aaa.com. And I'm gonna go to my code here and get this IP just for an example.